session. We're very happy, and I know I speak for all the delegates, to be in Switzerland, in this beautiful and happy land. We are honored today with the President and representative of the Swiss government, and I take great pleasure in presenting to you the Vice President of the Swiss Confederation, Monsieur Etter.
Messieurs, si la Suisse tient à faire entendre sa voix aujourd'hui du haut de cette tribune, c'est pour adresser au Conseil de l'UNRRA le message de cordiale bienvenue du pays qui a le privilège de l'accueillir. C'est dans cet esprit, Monsieur le Directeur général de l'UNRRA, Messieurs les délégués, Mesdames et Messieurs, que je vous adresse le salut des autorités suisses, fédérales et genevoises, et que je vous souhaite chaleureusement, au nom du gouvernement de la population de ce pays, la complète réussite de votre session.
Thank you, Mr. Vice President, for your gracious welcome and for your eloquent and inspiring address. You have left a thought with us that I am sure we will try to fulfill. I'm sure you all get the feeling of being in this chamber, as I do, the home of the League of Nations that started under such hopeful auspices and ended in such dismal failure. It is again open to the peoples of the world. We are grateful for the opportunity of being the first international organization meeting here in this new world. We are grateful to the next speaker who has assumed control of these buildings for having opened the doors and swept away the cobwebs so that we could meet. I take great pleasure in presenting to you Mr. Trygvie Lie, the Secretary General of the United Nations.
Mr. Director General, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I thank you, Mr. Director General, for the kind words you said to the United Nations organization and to me as Secretary General. And it is indeed very appropriate that the first conference to be held in this building since they came into the possession of the United Nations is a conference of the UNRRA. And it is a great pleasure for me, on behalf of the United Nations, to welcome the UNRRA Council here today. There were many who only a few years ago believed that this fine building would never be used again for great international gatherings. It is being used in suffering of millions of soldiers, sailors, and airmen, as well as civilians of the United Nations. Exactly 1 week ago today, I was privileged to attend the opening session of the conference at Paris, which is preparing the treaties of peace with 5 of the defeated powers. The work of UNRRA is the complement of what is being accomplished there.
We have tried to be the temporary field quartermasters of the United Nations until your great organization, the hope of the world, is ready to take over. All right, gentlemen, we'll get right down to business now. The next order on the calendar is the election of several committees.